we have it, the first of our contestants while the judges confer. I think it's a wonderful sort of thing. How many of us have sat around with our mobile phones in our hand and wasted an enormous amount of time on Pinterest? Any Pinterest, you know, looking at recipes and kitchen decor and thinking there is something better I could be doing with my life, and this kind of technology. But I'm going to sit there and learn a language in traffic. Obviously, if you're not driving, unless you live in Auckland, in which case there is plenty of time to sit in traffic with a mobile phone and try to figure out how to speak another language. I think there's this kind of thing that's really going to save languages, so it's an absolutely fascinating thesis, and I look forward to seeing how that all ends up. So our judges are still conferring. I think they're marking their things. They put their pens down. I like that. They're sort of like down, ready to go, ready to judge the next person. So ladies and gentlemen, from the Waikato Management School, her thesis is on, is entitled, Are Microfinance Institutions Succeeding, and Does It Really Matter? Microfinance stands as a promising tool in the fight against global poverty, so that my aim, she says, is to put open eyes on a government's model for microfinance institutions to work better. Will you please welcome to the stage Sujani Thrikawala.
In the next 3 minutes, somewhere in the world, there will be people who die due to poverty, children who suffer because of malnutrition, and newborn babies who will not make it. Poverty is real and tragic. Microfinance is a form of self-help and empowerment. Muhammad Yunus, who won the Nobel Prize, set up the first formal microfinance institution called Grameen Bank in a small village in Bangladesh to provide loans. The bank requires applicants to be very poor, preferably women, illiterate, and does not ask for collateral. Sounds too good to be true. Well, the bank became a huge success. Today, it has lent money to 8.4 million poorest people in Bangladesh. They were living on as little as 5 cents a day, and the bank has helped to lift them out of poverty, hopefully forever. Now, there are at least 10,000 microfinance institutions worldwide, and many of them rely heavily on fund providers like the World Bank, United Nations, and the developed countries like New Zealand. That includes your generous earnings, but the system isn't perfect. First, some of these microfinance institutions in countries like India and Sri Lanka are corrupt. Second, there is lack of microfinance-specific legislation to monitor their activities. Unfortunately, multiple tiers of bureaucracy are consuming resources while the poor are left to struggle with hunger, tears, and death. For example, in 2010, more than 200 people have committed suicide in India because they couldn't pay their debts. These so-called microfinance institutions put them further into poverty by charging high interest rates and then applying persistent pressure for repayments. This leads to my main research question. Are microfinance institutions succeeding? Does it really matter? To answer this, I am analyzing 200 microfinance institutions from 2005 to 2011 using microeconometric methods, examining the relationship between governance, financial performance, and outreach to the very poor in India and Sri Lanka. I want my research to contribute to an improvement in the microfinance sector so that microfinance institutions work better. When the institutional structures are inappropriate, the impact can be tragic. Dear colleagues, $1.50 a day may not be much to us, but in poor countries, that amount can change a life of a woman who is looking after her family's health and education. If I can help her by increasing her daily income from 5 cents to $1.50 through better governance, reducing bureaucratic wastage, then I really believe that my research will make a difference for millions of people who are living with poverty.